-2 impression. Yep, that's fair. That is fair. In this house, we run it back. Me if video stores still existed. Nice try. I still remember, and I apologize to nobody but Librarian. Librarian, I apologize because I'm sure you remember this bit. You know, like little, as a kid, little jokes or little moments that happen, like you don't realize that you're going to remember them forever. I'm not even talking about like trauma. I'm talking about things that are just like, your brain is like, oh yeah, store that one. It's messed up you don't apologize to me. Origin. We're even, okay? There's no need for apologies either way, but we're even, okay? One thing that I'm always surprised that I've kept with me for like 25 years at this point is I remember we drove to the video store and coming out of the video store was the dad of someone I played on the same softball team as. So because I grew up in a small town, my parents are making conversation. And then I remember that he said, hey, make sure you guys get excited. Payback with Mel Gibson just came out. And then my dad was like, oh, really? Is it good? And then the dude said, yeah, but they don't have it. I just remember, like, he knew what he was doing. He walked my dad, like, straight into a comedic trap. And I don't know, maybe there's an inspiration in that for me. Maybe the fact that I've remembered that says something about who I've chosen to be in my life. I said that shit's, I'm never gonna get humiliated like my dad got humiliated. I saw what happens when a man loses all of his self-respect outside of a jumbo video. And I said that's never gonna happen to me. Can I be honest with you? This is a question for the women in the chat. I apologize for being like heteronormative with this. Yesterday at the steakhouse, my steak came with the beef, twice baked potato, broccoli, beets, and sauteed mushrooms. I'm getting to the question, okay? I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase it. Am I correct in the assumption, and different people are different, am I correct in the assumption that one surefire way to give a grown-up woman the ick is by eating your steak and your potato but not eating any of the vegetables that are served to you on your plate? Like just giving the waiter back a completely clean plate but all of the vegetables are completely untouched? Holy cow, I'm so sorry. I expected to be the bad guy and people were gonna be like, no, eat whatever you want, but everybody's saying yes. I would not have proposed the bit if I knew it was gonna be a unanimous consensus like that. Now I just feel bad, man. What the fuck? I didn't mean it to be. Oh no. You did that? No, I ate the vegetables, bro. But when I was eating the vegetables, I was like, let's go. I'm eating the vegetables. She's not gonna get the ick. I mean, when I ate the broccoli, I was like, this is delicious. But when I was eating the beets, I was like, this is just for ick prevention. I'm a grown man. I can't be afraid of like, ooh, the food in my mouth makes my brain feel slightly yucky. You know, like we gotta, he will not divide us. When's the last time you gave your wife the ick? I probably do it like 10 times a week, if I had to guess. I think it's naive to assume you could ever live an ickless world. Misspeaking because I've been hanging out with my daughter all the time and saying, I'll be right back, I need to go potty. Like, I think that's one that can definitely ick someone up. It's an understandable mistake, but at the same time, it's a little funny. To be loved is to be icked. Probably the other thing, me being 35 years old and still running up the stairs as fast as I can. I mean, that is juvenile behavior. I'm becoming of a man my age. That's gotta be given the ick. Like, she's upstairs, you know, drinking a tea or something like that, and then she hears like, tick, 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 tick. I'm like pumping my arms. Like, like I'm 35 years old, man. But here's the thing. All that stuff when I did it when I was a kid, and I was like, why don't you do that? They're like, don't worry, you're going to grow out of it. And like some of that shit I grew out of, but some of that's baked in, low and slow. I speed crawl up the stairs to this day. It's so funny. I'm not acting like I'm better than you. I'm tick, 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 tick. And then like the worst part is it makes no sense to run up the stairs because I do fall down the stairs as a result of running up them at least like once every 2 years. And then every time it happens, I'm like, I'm going to stop running up the stairs from this point onwards. And then I get in a rush at some point and I'm like, I'm running up the stairs, and then I just, you know, it becomes a habit again. And then 2 years later, we have a large, it's a 10-story tall spiral staircase. Whatever, I got hit after the room. Who cares? Nobody? Nobody? Oh, Gene! Well, I wish I'd done this before the reroll, but that's life. I think we want to fucking die, bro. We should go for it. We should, like, take this. Whatever. I'll just find a way. I'm sure I give my wife the ick all the time. I'm not worried about it. I will say yesterday, I will say though, sorry, I got my phrasing all mixed up. Again, I can only speak from my own experience. I don't mean this to reinforce heteronormative narratives. But to some extent, women don't understand the power that their words can have. We went to the mall yesterday. I got my wife something for her birthday. And then I had to get some nice clothes as well, because we got some important stuff coming up this week. I didn't go there to get a winter coat, okay? My wife went to look at some clothes. She came back with a coat and said, I want you to try this on. I tried it on. She went, whoa, you look so cute in that. Guess who left the store with a winter coat? It does something in your brain. I was like, I don't need a winter coat. But that response is like, there's no shot I'm not getting this coat after that. It's just simply not going to happen. She rizzed me. She rizzed me, Jerry. What does that have to do with heteronormative narratives? Listen, I'm just trying to avoid controversy after you tried to cancel my daughter for saying, like, I'm not allowed to play with number blocks because those are girl toys, okay? I'm just trying to avoid stepping on any toes. So it's illegal to be straight now? Not yet, brother. I was kind of, you know what? Chiblee did a census of his chat, and his chat was like, there's something like 71% gay or bi or lesbian, and then like 28% straight. Which means I'm finally in a position to start calling your asses out. So if you're gonna be like, you know, oh, me and my boyfriend were hanging out at the coffee shop the other day, I'd be like, oh, okay, sorry, not all of us, some of us are straight. Can you please make this commentary a little bit more accessible to me? Some of us are out here sitting on the couch with their wife, both looking at their phone, looking at different things, and occasionally showing it to the other person and going, did you see this? It was 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I'm fucking stupid. What's the third? My ass was born in 1988. Help me. Giga gay? Oh, dude, a secret. They didn't tell me about that one. You guys have been trying to keep that under wraps for so long. I gotta tell all my straight friends. Guys. He do be puking. Guys, did you hear about this giga gay thing? Tomo, you okay, buddy? He's okay. Oh no, he's throwing up one more time. 1 second. Do you have a bad dream? Yeah, just walk right over it. Good idea. Just throw up on the ground and then put your paw right in it. Good idea. Tomo, did you hear about this giga gay thing? I don't know about all of that. I guess it makes sense. All the straight people are too busy watching The Office. Am I right? It's so silly. The Office, man. Come on. Oh, anyway, my wife and I have been watching a little bit of The Office while we eat dinner sometimes. We're going to stop, I don't know, maybe like season 5, season 6. I know where it goes. You've been accepted as a member of the gay community. I accept your acceptance. I'm a very accepting person. I accept your acceptance of me. You're not allowed to do that? Chibli? I need your help. Prezzo, are you here? I will say, my wife and I, we were on the couch. I was waiting to pick up my daughter from an activity. And my wife was scrolling through Instagram shorts. And I don't watch like any short form content online. I didn't know like the state of short form content. I didn't realize how many channels out there are making it big. Just like literally reposting scenes from movies with no context whatsoever. Just like, hey, this scene from this movie really makes you think, completely ripped out of its original habitat. So there's a movie where Adrian Brody is like a teacher in a bad school, right? Like the kids are fighting and there's crime and there's violence. But she's scrolling through Instagram shorts, and then she scrolls like up one, and then there's just a kid, like, I don't know, he's like 13 years old. He says, "You're fucking gay." And then everyone starts laughing. And I was like, what is this? I'm like, this Instagram short, I mean, I'm sure it's on every platform, but I was like, what's going on? The kid was bullying another kid, and then he kicks him out of the class. And then Adrian Brody's like, everybody get out a piece of paper. I want you to write down what you want your family member to say at your funeral. And then one of the kids is like, hey, yo, what if I don't have any paper? And then Adrian Brody ignores him and he goes, I asked you a question, bro. I don't have paper. And then the kid gets up and like takes the teacher's bag and throws it out of the room. And the teacher goes, that bag doesn't have feelings. And then the clip just cuts. It's like it completely, there's no message in it whatsoever. There was no moral. It was just over. That's Detachment from 2011. I'm going to put that in the Cine Nerdle in the hopper. Thoughts on sink pissers? You've been asking that question for like 4 hours, man. I know Jay was in here the other day, and I want to plus to him retroactively. I was saying, as crazy as it sounds, watching movies on the bike has made me appreciate cinema more because there's like no distractions except for the obvious one being that you're exercising. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for the raid. We're talking about cinema right now. I was saying watching movies on the bike has me appreciating cinema more because you never look away from the screen. Whereas if you watch a movie at home, you might, I'm going to do the dishes while I watch it. You can't help but be a little distracted. Maybe I'm going to look at my phone at the same time. So now I'm finding myself getting boomer coded. And like, if anybody is seriously just digesting movie clips, like best scene from 100 movies watched sequentially, like you're offending me on some level. Now, you may not care about that, which is fine, but I personally, my mental model is not to think of a movie as merely a collection of scenes, where they're each designed to be entertaining in a vacuum, They all build towards something bigger than that, for some stuff at least. You're right, I don't care. Son of a bitch. By the way, great timing. I did watch the first 3 episodes of The Traitors. And I'm very much looking forward to Thursday to watch the next one. I don't want to say anything at all. All I'm going to say is if you are interested in Dan Giesling, he's available, or he's in a show right now that's coming out on Peacock, or if you're in Canada, on Crave. First 3 episodes are out. Subsequent episodes available every Thursday. I will say, though, there's some shit on the Traitors that almost brings up, like, Among Us PTSD for me. Like, in the first episode, or I guess the second episode, somebody literally misspeaks the way that everybody does constantly, every day. And they go like, well, if I wasn't a traitor, and then everyone goes, hey, hey, you let the mask slip. And then she's like, I didn't mean that. I meant to say if I was a traitor. And they're like, nice try. But every time anyone ever trips over their words, it necessarily reveals their most deep, dark secrets. And then they're at the elimination, and they're like, well, she said she was a traitor. And she's like, I literally misspoke. And they're like, well, that's what a traitor would say. They fucking send her to the chokey, bro. Just because she tripped over her words a little bit. Everybody was probably 10 cocktails deep. It sounds like a nightmare show. It's great for, full stop, it's great. But it's also great if you love watching people get gaslit. Which I don't love watching it because I like to see people suffer. I like watching it because that shit was me every time we played Project Winter. And I'm like, finally, other people understand. It's not just me. There's dozens of us. Yeah, the one dude is like, they're picking the traitors, and the lady is like, you started to breathe really heavy when the host walked behind you. Did he tap you on the shoulder? And he's like, no, I'm a little asthmatic. And then later, he's jogging because they're all running. And she's like, hey, I can't breathe. Are you sure you don't have an inhaler? And he's like, sorry, love, I don't have an inhaler. And then she's like, well, if you have asthma, why don't you have an inhaler? And he's like, well, I was like a kid when I had asthma. I don't have asthma anymore. And it's just a one-off comment you made at dinner one night. And then she's like, your job as a politician is to lie. And I'm like, okay, lady, a broken clock is right twice a day. Like, to be that as it may, that doesn't mean this man's a traitor. You really think the producers would pick the oldest man on the show and be like, let's put this guy in a starring role? Come on. No disrespect, but they know that shit's going nowhere. That's just like a bad production decision in that case. By the way, I know Dan probably can't respond to any of this if he's even still here. I was pissed on his behalf, though. I don't know John Burkrow or, like, you know, what he's done. He's a British politician, so I'm just starting with the assumption this is probably nothing good. I'm sorry, it would be the same no matter where he was from, probably. But anyway, I gotta go to bat for him because this shit is infuriating when you think you're having a casual conversation. People tell lies all the time in conversation. Yeah, this food is really, really good. Yeah, no, like, it looks amazing. Where did you get it done? And then all of a sudden, like, all those little white lies that lubricate conversations so we can all, like, get along, it comes back to bite you in the ass. You said you loved my broccoli cheddar soup, and then at dinner you said, I don't really like broccoli. Like, you must be a traitor. No, he was trying to avoid hurting your feelings. You're the one who accused him of being a traitor because he's breathing too heavy. The dude is like 71 years old. Cut him some damn slack. It is, maybe I'm ranting at this point. We ain't got time for the item room. I ain't got time to bleed. Then they spend all this time, like, you know, railing on each other for these things that don't even make sense. And then when they eliminate someone and they're not a traitor, they all go cry. They're like, I've literally killed a person. I'm like, no, you're just a little crazy. By the way, Paper Mache Mephistopheles, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I guess, okay, I'm trying not to spoil. I imagine most people are eager to watch the show from a Dan-based context. I'm not going to spoil anything involving Dan's involvement. But the dude who was crying because someone got eliminated, but then, like, at the round table, he was like, listen, if you don't think for yourself, you're liable to be led around by your leash like a dog. And everyone was like, I don't want to be a dog. I'm going to vote for whoever this guy tells me. And then they vote for that person and they're not a traitor. And he's like in tears. And he's like, what have I done? And you're like, that's the game, man. Like, you put nuts on the table and then your nuts got chopped off. There's no tears. You're the one who put your nuts up there. Anyway, I just, like, the thing that annoys me in a enjoyable way about the show is when someone stutters a little bit and everyone's like, that's an admission of guilt. It's so, like, grade school NLSS core accusations. Oh, really? You got accused of something you didn't do and then you misspoke because you got angry about it? A little sus. If I was wrongfully accused of something, I would simply maintain my rational and calm demeanor and respond in an appropriate fashion. I would say, I did not do that. Hi, Tomo. I assume you're saying thank you for cleaning up my bolus? Yeah, me when Will Smith keeps asking me, did I murder that guy? No, bro. Oh, but the robot got angry. Yeah, you accused me of murder, dude. I'm a robot. I did not murder him. How many times do I have to tell you? And then, you know what's fucked up is that even to this day, there's people watching this that are like, but he did murder him. No, he fucking didn't. You need to go watch the movie. You're gaslighting Sonny yet again. Sonny did not murder that guy. It was the other guy, the other robot. You're part of the problem, I'm realizing. Oh, double efficacy hanged man. Me when I'm on a long train journey. Playing hangman. No, he definitely did kill a dude. Yeah, but the dude was kind of sus to begin with, right? I might need to go back and watch iRobot. Yes, he was sus. Then that's based. Probably. Good play. Do you have a go-to hangman word? It depends if you're trying to have fun or if you're trying to irritate the other person. If you're trying to have fun, just pick something. If you're trying to irritate them, pick jazz. Whenever I was teaching and we would play word games at the end of class, if we had like 3 minutes, I would just write up, you know, like melon or something like that. If we had 15 minutes, best of luck to you, class full of Korean 9-year-olds. The word is jazz. The kids are in tears. Teacher, there's no more letters. Actually, Sally, there are. There's a couple more letters you haven't guessed. Teacher, V? Me drawing like another foot on the hanged man. This is like foot number 7. Korean student named Sally. POV, you have never stepped foot inside of an ESL classroom. The kids in English class use English names, which is fucked up and makes no sense. And the English names are also given by their first English teacher. So every class has like 12 Sallys, Sarahs, Jessicas, Alan, Sam. There's a lot of repeats for sure. We did that in Spanish class. It would, even in 2011, I was like, this is a little fucked up. Can't we just call them by like their actual name? But the principal was like, no. I'm like, they don't need an English name. Their English name is just their Korean name pronounced badly by me. Like, that's their English name. It's not like when I went to Korea, they were like, this isn't Ryan teacher anymore. This is... I can do this. This is Chan Wook, you know? They were like, this is Ryan teacher. They should do that? Well, that would be fair in a King Solomon-esque context. I just feel like it's weird, right? Like if my ass studied in Korea, like if I went to Korea University, I'm not gonna show up the day 1 of class and be like, hi, my name's like G-Dragon, you know? It's your name. In a way, like, it's insulting to the person to get renamed, but it's also insulting to me. I know there's a stereotype that, like, you know, North Americans can't pronounce foreign names. Wait, now that I think about it, that's pretty true. Okay, maybe they were onto something. I was like, that's only old people. And then I was like, nah, I do say names wrong in Cine 2 Nerdle quite a lot. Why no Twisted Pear? Because my ass is fucking... I'm dying on the vine out here, man. I'm withering. Withering and not smoking the reefer. I always end on a loss, so this is like a new possible era for me. So worth. I cast testicular torsion. Mods, grab his dick and twist it. Mods, pop a letter from the IRS into his mailbox. That's fucked up. Oh, man. I'm not even American. Sometimes I think the IRS doesn't even care whether you're American or not. We have a family friend who travels to America often. This is what it's like. Like, there are some things about living in America that obviously are trash, okay? There are also some things you have to appreciate, even if it benefits the citizenry exactly 0%. There's some things you can only do when you're on top, okay? We have a family friend. He's Canadian. He travels to America for work. Apparently, like he's staying in hotels, right? He spent enough time in the last 3 years in America that the IRS decided he owes income tax to America, despite not being a citizen of their country. You know how crazy that is? I don't think, is there any country on earth that can do that to an American? Maybe, but they would, I don't know, I feel like their days are numbered in that case, in an economic sense at least. So he was getting like stressed out because he would just be like, you know, hanging out, and then the IRS would call and be like, how are those taxes coming along, buddy? That's crazy. Like they would, it was like the mafia. If the mafia built like, you know, roads and libraries and stuff like that. I'm just keeping my mouth shut because they have a non-double tax treaty with Canada. I don't want to get on their bad side. Most countries do that? I don't think so. I honestly think if you were just chilling in Canada for like 10 years, they'd be like, whatever, buddy. We know you're good for it. I don't know. I can't back that up. They do? Spoken like a true Chicagoan, DL Guiga. I'm not saying you have to support La Cosa Nostra, but I do think one of those funny stories is that in, I can't remember if it was Illinois or New Jersey, but the mafia was running the numbers racket, and the state went to the police and was like, you have to shut this mafia numbers racket down because we can't compete with their margins with the state lottery. The mafia was running like a more benevolent lottery than the government, and they said, we can't have that. Forward, resource, dude, just trust me. No, I'm telling you, look it up. Add all those keywords into Google. It will spit out a story that is in the same vein as what I just told you. I still think the lottery's kind of based, though. Of all the ways to be addicted to gambling, the lottery is like the best, right? Because it's the least fun. Ergo, you know the people doing it are actually in it for the love of the game. And also, the proceeds go to, like, public programs. I reject the question. Don't be a puss. Come on. Get in the mud with me. It's the worst? How could it be worse than FanDuel, where the money is all being siphoned out to, like, a public company? It's probably headquartered somewhere in the Cayman Islands. At least when you gamble with, like, you know, Lotto 649, that shit's going to the government of Ontario. Roll me? Not good enough. I'm going to die. I think it's kind of just like you're paying like an advance on your taxes. +5 range. I know, this game's got a sick sense of humor. I don't play the lottery. I don't gamble at all. If I did, I would definitely gamble on sports. Because that seems fun. Which is why I won't do it. Because it's bad for you. I wouldn't play the lottery. The lottery just seems boring. You gotta go, what, like, buy a newspaper every day just to see if a random number generator selected you to be, like, one of God's chosen children? That doesn't sound fun. That's why the lottery is based. They're not tricking people into it with Rob Gronkowski's, you know, super kick 2.0. They're just like, if you're gonna do it, just do it with us. I just got the Gronk ad. I want to see the kick. I don't give a shit about FanDuel. That being said, if I was going to gamble, it would probably be with FanDuel because they're top of mind. You read that article about gambling being a social tax on Gen Z? I didn't, but I think it's my thoughts on gambling are well known. It's gotten to the point where I actually feel bad talking about it because I feel like most people are like, yeah, I know. You know, like in college when everybody's binge drinking and you guys are like, this is awesome. And then you like meet one of your college friends at like age 23 and he drinks like 22 beers and you're like, oh, the consequences of our actions. It's like, it's not funny anymore. It's real, but it's not funny. Okay, let me see if my wife is ready to stream. Hello. Are you ready to stream? Astria tomorrow? Astria tomorrow, King? We need to do that escape.